Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to update my Captain America Shield Throw Forge Guard, of course stronger than ever. And you're going to see tons of builds coming out of this channel as we're updating everything on actionrpg.com. As always, I'll show you every single facet of the build. Everything is timestamped in the description below if you need to bounce around. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Starting off with some gameplay. Now what you're looking at right now is 706 Corruption. And again, we are a Sentinel Forge Guard. And for this build, we really like shields. We are using Shield Rush, awesome movement skill. You can move across the entire map in some instances. We are using Shield Bash, Ring of Shields, and our damage dealer, which is of course Shield Throw. We are even using dual shield because you get a big damage boost from a block effectiveness and block chance. So we want as much as possible. That's why we are using two shields. The fifth skill we are using is Symbols of Hope. And the build literally couldn't be more simple. You shield rush around the map, which automatically triggers Shield Bash. When you need added damage and survivability, you will manually click on Ring of Shields, and this will also automatically pop up when you block, and then you just spam your shield throw. You can see, even at 700 corruption, this gnarly Rift Beast, like, no problem for the build. Give me all that. And we continue. Nemesis. And the shield will ricochet around your Ring of Shields so it can hit multiple times. That is why I love the movement skill. It's just so much easier to traverse maps. You spam your shield throw. I've actually reeled in a little bit of shield throw attack speed for more damage, but it still feels fine for clear speed. Done. Let me show you single target. So here's some Herot at 706 corruption. Can't hurt him right now. And you will see even over 700 corruption, you get his face tank. Like no problem on this fight. Don't run away. Come here. Dead. Harbinger of Tyranny, again at 706 corruption. And you are very tanky. This build can definitely be pushed a lot farther than what I am showing you. But you'll see even the Harbinger at 700 corruption is no problem for shield throw. We have made huge improvements over the old iteration. And you are dead. And of course, I gotta show you the Aberoth kill as always, because every build on this channel can kill Aberoth. Abby, you are dead. No problem. Let me show you how to recreate this build. So let's start with breaking down the skills. First skill is our damage dealer shield throw. First thing you want to do is come up right here and take shield barrage. This makes it where it doesn't have a cooldown, so you can just spam shield throw like crazy. You then want to take the 5 nodes to the right. This is going to give you multiplicative damage and base damage. And then up here, it's going to give you multiplicative damage per your block chance. This is why you want dual shields and you want as much block chance as possible. This build will have over 100% block chance. You're then going to come over here to the right to get base crit and critical strike multiplier based upon the block effectiveness. This is also why we like block effectiveness. So these nodes over here are the first ones. You're then going to come to the left for attack speed and projectile speed and put 1 point into Steel Defender. This allows your shield throw to bounce around your Ring of Shields and hit the enemies multiple times. This is a great node for single target. You're then going to come down here and get reduced mana cost, Leech, and make it where the shield ricochets multiple times. 1 point right here to give you frailty chance, and then any remaining points into added ricochet. Moving over to your movement skill, Shield Rush. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, this is a wasted skill. Technically, you could put on another skill if you want. I spec into Shield Rush because on here, you're able to pull down the mana and you get less damage while rushing and you get stun chance and you get some damage. But if you had a 5th skill that you wanted to sub in, you could do that for Shield Rush. This is one of my favorite movement skills in the game. Very easy to set up. Moving over to Shield Bash. Now, this is basically a utility skill. It is not going to do a ton for damage, but it does have a lot of awesome things on it. So what it's going to do is it's going to shred armor. It's going to slow enemies. It is going to boost your block chance and block effectiveness. You're going to have additional shield throw ricochets after you use shield bash. And when you use shield rush, it kind of forms a line of shields in front of you. You're going to get added stun duration. You're going to get shield wall. And then on here, you're going to get added health per strength. Shield bash. Moving over to Symbols of Hope. You want to come over to the left and get increased damage and crit chance. You're then going to come to the right, extra symbol, and then you want to get as much block and block effectiveness as possible. So you'll have 4 symbols, and each one will be supporting your damage. All remaining points go into iron symbols. Last but not least, Ring of Shields. Ring of Shields, you want to come over to the left and snag this right here, Sturdy Shields. When shields heal enemies, you also grant them non-stacking increased block effectiveness. More block effectiveness, more damage. You're then going to come down, add more block chance and block effectiveness. And then lastly, all remaining points will go right here into duration. Those are the skills. So now let's break down the passives. At time of recording, I'm level 99 in the game, so I'll show you where I plan on putting that final point. In the base Sentinel tree, we will start. We're taking strength and resistances, block effectiveness and block chance, damage reduction to close enemies, cooldown for shield and health. We're then going to move over to Paladin because we need to unlock Symbols of Hope. So we're taking Conviction for some physical penetration and increased physical. Defiance for resistances, and then Honor, of course, for block effectiveness and block chance. We're then going to move over to Forge Guard, where we have tons of throwing support. Block effectiveness, block chance. You're going to get increased stun and throwing damage. Physical shred stacks, block effectiveness with a shield. You're technically going to have 2 of them. And these 5 points you could actually put in any one of these 3. This one gives you health and stun avoidance. This one gives you health and health regen. This one gives you armor. So for me, I actually wanted more armor, but the choice is yours. Moving to the second half of the tree, you want iron reflexes because that's going to unlock throwing attack, critical strike chance, and throwing critical strike multiplier. You want 6 and 8 here. You're then going to come over and get less damage taken, and you're going to get Shield Crafter, which is going to give you block effectiveness per shield, and it is going to automate your Ring of Shields. Now, you'll still manually using Ring of Shields, but this helps. You're then going to jump over to Void Knight. Now, Void Knight, we are taking increased health and leech. We're taking health resistances and damage reduction, and then all remaining points I'm putting right here into Void Corruption, which is increased critical strike chance and critical strike multiplier per point spent. So my final point will be going right here for 8 out of 8. Those are the passives. Moving over to Last Epoch tools, we're going to break down the blessings, idols, and gear, starting with blessings. Now, there is one blessing on here I would say is pretty much required, and that is the Grand Bones of Eternity. Not only is this going to give you sustain and survivability, it's also going to give you multiplicative damage and critical strike multiplier for your shield throw. The other blessings I am using is critical strike multiplier, all res, base armor, and stun chance. And you could always switch out these idols if you needed more health, if you needed critical strike avoidance, endurance, mana. You could switch these out based upon your gear needs. Now, moving over to idols, this one is very easy. You need a bunch of these. This is damage reflected to attackers and base health. This is the quintessential idol for this build. Now, you might be wondering, this isn't a reflect build. Why do we care about reflect? Well, the required item for gear is the reprisal shield, and this does something very interesting. +1 throwing damage for shield throw per 10 damage reflected to attackers, which means if you get a ton of base reflect, this is going to give you a ton of base throwing. It's actually funny, with this build, we're trying to find ways to get increased damage because you actually have a ton of multiplicative and base. So actually the thing that hurts you is trying to find increase. But yes, you want as much damage reflected to attackers because of the required shield throw shield. Now, the other items we are using for this build is we are using Monument of Protection. Again, this is because of the block effectiveness and block chance, and this has increased block effectiveness % on it. Huge. Do not use a two-handed weapon. you have to use the dual shield. I'm telling you, it is massive. We are also using Blood of the Exile. This has strength and dex on it, and just awesome movement. We are using Claws. This is going to give you throwing, critical strike, multiplier, and on here we have base throwing and block chance and block effectiveness. We are using Reliquary's Nest. This is our primordial unique, and the reason why is this has up to a 60% stat boost on your reflect. So more reflect, more boost to your shield. Thornslinger, it also has reflect on it. For your rings, you want to use Exalted Rings because there's so much good stuff. You can get throwing attack speed, base throwing, mana cost, and block effectiveness. And I'm using that on 2 of them. Body armor, damage reflected to attackers, critical strike chance, double health. Helmet, shield throw level, throwing critical strike chance, double health. And the amulet. We're using Bleeding Heart. Now, amulet you could switch out as you see fit. This has throwing attack speed on it. I took increased in critical strike multiplier, and it has tons of leech. You can use any of the ominous if you wanted to, or evolutions, and there's a lot of good amulets out there, but I actually used Bleeding Heart for this build. Now, that is the gear. Moving over to actionrpg.com to talk leveling. Now, know that this leveling guide has been tested and fine-tuned in-game. This is the Universal Sentinel leveling guide, okay? Now, I'm not going to break down the whole thing. You'll find it under our leveling guides on actionrpg.com, or the link is in the description. Now, ultimately, the skills we are recommending are Hammer Throw, Holy Aura, Abyssal Echoes, Symbols of Hope, and Smite. These would be the skills you would actually level with. Down here, we have a video that breaks it down from friend Babbling Bike, and the uniques that are recommended are Bleeding Heart, Avarice, Thornslinger, and Blood of the Exile. And what I like about this is 3 of these uniques I actually recommend for the end game build. So you can just literally keep them and maintain them throughout the guide. Again, leveling recommendation in the description. Last but not least, let's talk Lootfilter. And I've added this to all my build guides because I get so many questions about it. Now, just know there's some awesome universal loot filters out there, so use whichever one you want. That being said, if you want to use mine, it's in the FAQ on actionrpg.com. It's at the top of actionrpg.com, and it's on the description in this video. Now, my loot filters are a little different. First thing I want to talk about are these red rules here at the beginning. I try to build my loot filter so you could use it from the very beginning of the game. These red rules here are for leveling. They basically show you all the rare items and modifiers you want, and it has all the base types on it, so you have as many options as possible as you traverse the campaign. But once you are done with the campaign, you will uncheck all of these red rules because you will no longer need rare gear. And then you'll come up to the top section here. This is going to show you all the affixes and idols you want for the build. This is going to show you 2 LP and 19 Weaver's Will with regular drops. It's going to show you double T6, T7s, and triple T6 or higher exalteds. And then all uniques that are very high value, basically, you know, red rings and things of that nature, and every single unique for this build. So that if you're trying to tailor your experience for really this build and just, you know, high rarity items, this loot filter would do good. Again, on actionrpg.com and in the description. All right, everybody, that's the build guide. What do you think of my new and improved Captain America Shield Throw Forge Guard? Is there anything I missed? Is there anything I can do to take this next level? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe if you think I have earned it. If I haven't earned it, I'm going to work harder for you. Don't forget to check out my new website, actionrpg.com. We've got leveling guides, build guides, tips and tricks, news, event calendar, and the stuff we are working on for the future is going to be very, very cool. Again, check out actionrpg.com. Lastly, join the Discord. There's over 5,000 of us. We do movie nights, game nights, merch giveaways, game giveaways, just for being a member of the community. It's where we do all the subathon shenanigans and events. There's over 5,000 of us, and we all love ARPGs. I'm done. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.